Greetings, everybody. So today we're sitting at home doing the social distancing stuff with the coronavirus, COVID-19. So I figured I'd give you a quick tour out here, show you what's going on. I got time to do stuff. The wife's not letting me go to the office, so I'm working from home, but getting pretty bored. So I'm going to flip this around, show you what we're working on out here. I got in some worms, doing the vermicomposting with the red wigglers. I'll show you that, sorting them out, having a look at some eggs. But let me get this camera spun around so you can see what's happening. Okay, so we're out here in we're calling this my dad's grow area. It's out behind the horse barn in the back corner of the property, and the bees are right out there. But we're going to kind of grow some food, and this whole COVID-19 thing's kind of kick-started my wife with the self-reliant, self-sufficient thing a little bit more. We've got out here planted some butternut squash, some Kahari melons from rare seeds, a bunch of jalapenos, starting a bunch of different types of onions here. This is mostly my dad's doing. I'm not that good at doing stuff with seeds. I prefer the hydroponics. Starting some milkweed to attract some more pollinators, cantaloupe. Got some different type of peas, zucchini, watermelon. He's growing some flowers, some pansies. We're doing some sunflowers. Starting more corn over here. I'm not sure exactly why. Daikon radishes. These things popped out in, I think, 2 days. Beets, they're not coming up yet. Marigolds, he's planted a bunch already. More sunflowers, starting some poblanos, more milkweed. I started these black-eyed peas. We're going to put in probably over here and work up something for them to climb on, because I believe they're vining. Got a lot of purple basil coming in. Getting some suckers started on some of our yellow pear and lucid gym tomatoes, cilantro. Back here, some different fruit trees and stuff like that. But it's a work in progress. Got some stuff in the ground over there. Our bamboo's going pretty good. And then over here, let me get over the chicken wire, keep the chickens out of there. All of our red okra. Got 4 rows there started. Second start of corn over here, and our actually that's the third, because our first start the seeds didn't take, something was wrong. And we've got some, I forget what kind, I think they were butternut squash there in the middle, and some Kahari melon over here, but these are a couple weeks old. And I've already moved some of the hydroponics from here up to there where the teardown house used to be, between here and the Airbnb, and we'll get over there in a minute. But this is staying put. This is our recirculating deep water culture. We're starting to have a problem here with rats. The cats can't keep up. They're coming out of the barn and chewing all this up. So we were going to leave these to do their thing in these, because I don't think I can move them and they survive. But the rat's going to keep getting to them. I'm going to go ahead and move them, because I don't think we'll have a rat problem over there. Here's a nice, big, healthy Swiss chard. We've got to start making salads and eating this. Over here, pickling cucumbers, starting out, some poblanos that I thought were going to die, but they're coming back. More Swiss chard, some garlic, we're going to see if that happens, some red cabbage, a rosemary bush I got put in the ground. I'm waiting on it to get a little bigger. Here is our yellow pear. See, it's just going absolutely crazy. I thought it wasn't going to make it for a while, but it has started going bananas. Or I guess I should say tomatoes. They're just all in there. We've been eating a ton of those things. Over here in the sugar cane area, this little raised bed, we've got our first actual cucumber here. Lots of flowers, so that's doing awesome. Dragon tongue beans here. See, starting to flower. And then we've got carrots along the outside. They might get overgrown by these, but we're seeing how much we can fit into here. Here's another pickling cucumber, some blueberries that are trying to flower, but they're just not very happy. And over here, all the Walla Walla onions that we picked up from Lowe's, doing their thing. Gets dried out pretty quick, but they're pretty happy. And I'll walk up to the second hydroponic area and we'll look at that. All right, this area is still a little bit of a mess. We finished getting the teardown house out of here. This was a house just probably 2 months ago. It's all gone. We've got an area over here. I think this is going to be a lettuce table. It stays in the shade. We've run power out here, water out here. And this is all the deep water culture stuff. Some strawberries that weren't happy because they were under that Swiss chard over there, but moved them. They're doing better. Kahari melons. They're gonna give it a go. This fig in this 55-gallon bucket that was inspired by Bob Grove's channel wasn't doing very well in the ground, so I rinsed out the roots, and it's done all of this in probably a month, maybe 3 weeks. Got a new shoot down here. It's doing pretty good. Full sun out here, pretty leaves. It's just going, being happy. More Swiss chard. These are Lucid Gem tomatoes. They are our favorites. We're gonna probably switch to basically just growing those in those little yellow pears. It's coming in here. I pulled a couple suckers off of here to try and root. They're all over there. These are for bell pepper plants. I'm gonna have to make something to support them. See, we've got 3 over there, a couple right here. There's 4 coming in. I really like doing these totes with the bubbler, the deep water method. You don't have to worry about drilling holes in the bottom and return the water to a sump or anything like that, like we did with those tomatoes where we got a little leak over time. It drains out and I have to fill back up. But we're in the process here of getting rid of all the little debris. We've got a little screener over there. Get rid of all this stuff. We're going to put some composted horse manure in the compost we've been working on out here. And this will be a garden. That's going to be like the beer garden pad over there. We got the smoker up. That's our Airbnb. So it'll be a little hangout. It's up the way from the house a little bit. Chickens are cruising. The food forest is coming along. Mulberries, the citrus trees that we just got from McGill. I think it was backyardcitrustrees.com, but we went and picked them up. Starting a whole bunch of sunflowers here, just to kind of break it up a little bit. Mulberries going crazy. Redid the chicken coop with metal roofing from the the teardown house, and closed it in, make it bigger because we got some more chicks in. And down here, these were flowering the other day. Where are the flowers? Pretty little pink flowers on these Barbados cherries. Looks like they're all gone. Here's one. So this was covered up. I think I wasn't giving them enough water, so I've started watering them more. Guava, papaya. Getting our papayas here. We got another papaya tree on the other side of the Airbnb. It's got a little bigger than this. And here is our bananas. I went ahead and cut this because it was just going crazy trying to throw more fruit, and these are starting to plump up a little bit, so that's good, and giving it a lot of water. So that's a happy tree. My one peach tree there is not doing so hot. The other one's flowering. It's probably a little late. I think they were already supposed to have flowered, but maybe next year that'll do something. So now we'll get into the worms. So let me switch that right over. Here we go. All right, so this is the stuff with the worms in it. This is my little worm bin. I've been putting them in there, and this is stuff that I'm gonna take out. It's either fresher manure and stuff that I don't need in there, really soggy. So I'm trying to pick the worms out. I think I just saw a little guy in there. Yep, so he's down in there. But this has been sitting here while I did that other part of the video, so I'm gonna rake this off because I don't want to fill it up with this stuff here, but I'm trying to, any little cocoons that I come across, trying to keep as much in there as I can because this has only been set up for about a week. So this is an experiment. We're trying to revitalize some of the soil from under the teardown house. This is gonna go in the garden, along with the horse manure we're composting. Which, you can see lots of worms in here. Here's a little cocoon. That little kind of orangey is an egg. So I'm gonna put it down in there. There's another one. Oops. Right there. So that's, I'm not going to put all of this in a pot, because since we're just getting started, I want as many worms in there as possible, but I don't want all of this in there. So I'm gonna kind of go through here and try and scoop out what I can to keep it separate. But this is just mowed up stuff here. We've got a whole bunch of shredded paper down in there. Just put the compost, not the compost, sorry, the food scraps, the papayas and things like that in there. And then down here is just shredded paper and lawn clippings. So I'm not 100% sure I'm doing this right. Looks like it might be a little wet, but this stuff's dry. So I might take this. I have holes drilled in the bottom of this first tote, but then the second tote is solid, so I'm gonna open that up and see what that looks like. So if you have any tips on vermicomposting, I'd be happy to have you leave them here in the comments for me to figure out what I'm doing. Been watching some videos and reading, trying to figure it out. But we're trying to get into some black gold here. So yeah, these are, you can see they're working their way back down because they don't like light. There's another egg right there. And each one of those supposedly has 3 to 4 worms in it, if I'm reading correctly. So I'm just kind of sorting through here, looking for that, letting these worms go down. As I see them, I pick them up. I'm not trying to get every single one of them, but I don't want to fill up my tote with this stuff here from Doty's. So let them push down, sort through. I'm throwing just these little chunks. I'm not breaking them up, just going through it kind of quick. And they're going in this. It's going to go into a pot with a plant or something, I don't know. Okay, here's the current worm situation. I have them out in the barn. Didn't really want them in the garage. I cut a vent hole in here, put some 1/8 inch hardware cloth on there. Just have some cardboard laying on top. You can see them already up here. Working around, going to town. So this batch, I got them from a local farm and garden store that has been around for a long time. But they're all down in here. Most of this stuff is the dirt that they were in, or the compost they were in at the place. It was under the chicken coops. So there's a bunch down there. I probably have 1.5 pounds. You can see they're in here working. But I'm going to take this after I kind of get it figured out, and I think that I've been messing with it for about a week. Gonna put a bigger one outside because we go through a lot of stuff, and I can compost a bunch of the plants from the hydroponics and the trimmings and stuff like that. Ooh, gimbal died. All right, sorry about that little gimbal freak out there. And yeah, they're out here in the barn. The horses can keep an eye on them. Like I was saying before, my gimbal flipped out on me is that probably put a big one. This area here is going to end up being covered. I'll probably build something real large over here, maybe 8 feet long, 3 feet wide, and a couple feet deep. This will be shaded all the time, kind of leave it open. And this will be the area that they go in, maybe take the place of these recirculating hydroponic zone here. But yeah, that's gonna go all this is going to end up out there eventually when we decide if we're going to let these tomatoes keep getting eaten or not. We're trying to harvest them, but the dang rats are beating us. So there's a lot in here. It's finally happy and healthy, but this gets almost no sun, so we'll probably end up moving it in the next month or so, because I think the rats are going to keep beating us to these things. Even here's another. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you guys are all staying well, staying out of trouble, getting the toilet paper and stuff that you need. This is just an absolute pain. Everybody's panicking, so we're just staying home, learning how to be a little bit more self-sufficient. Got some little cucumbers out here, moving them around. So yeah, y'all take care, be good, and we'll see you later.